right, hey everybody, Daniel here. Thanks for joining me. And for the month of September in my classes, we're focusing on taking the arms overhead. And there's two main things I think about when I take my arms overhead. There are plenty of postures that we do with the arms overhead in a yoga practice, but the two I'm specifically looking at this month is taking the arms overhead for handstand and taking the arms overhead for wheel pose. And they're very similar. They both require strength and mobility, but you start to access different areas of the body a little bit more when you go towards one rather than the other. So for this video, we'll be focusing mostly on trying to find a neutral spine as you take the arms overhead. So you start to find that position in the arms, the shoulders, and the torso, which lends itself really well to handstand. So we'll do a little bit of conditioning, a little bit of just the general flow with the emphasis on trying to mobilize the shoulders, activate the core. And then towards the end, I'll show you a couple of different ways that you can begin to work towards this handstand practice. The only thing that you might want to have nearby is a wall. Wall could be really useful for when we do get to the inversion. If there's any other prop you might want, absolutely go ahead and grab that. Otherwise, we'll get started just like we are in a seat. So as you come into your seat, again, we're looking at two main shoulder positions for the course of September, and we'll look at the two really briefly in this seat. So shoulder positioning number one, you can consider arms overhead with a hollow body position. So that means fairly neutral spine, if anything, just slightly rounding even. So as you take your arms by your side, begin to reach your arms forward, 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 and then begin to reach them up. Now trying to maintain a neutral spine, if you start to feel like your chest protrudes forward as you take your arms further overhead, just back up until you can find that neutral spine. And then when you find that spot, continue to reach your fingertips toward the ceiling. As you reach your fingertips towards the ceiling, go ahead, let your shoulders crowd your ears just a little bit. And then flex your fingers back so that your palms begin to face the ceiling. Pull your belly in. Just take a moment to feel what this feels like in the body. And this is the positioning we're going to be fooling around with for the course of this video. And then slowly begin to reverse the actions. Allow your arms to rest down by your side. Just give it a moment. And just for the sake of finding the difference between the two, we'll find the other one. The positioning that you'll start to find when you begin to take arm overhead back bends like wheel pose. So start exactly the same. Then begin to reach your arms forward, 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 and then up. Reach, reach, reach. And then when you get to that spot where you really can't go back any further without getting the spine involved, go ahead. Get the spine involved. As you reach your arms back, you'll begin to find a little bit of a lift of the heart. Then you might even begin to take your gaze up and look up. Good, just another moment there. Feel what that feels like. Not the positioning we'll be working with a whole lot today. And then slowly reverse. Allow your arms to rest down by your side. Give it a moment, give it a breath. And then walk your hands forward, coming into a tabletop shape. So as you come into your tabletop shape, start to make some easy circles around your hands. And so keep a steady pressure into right hand and left hand. And since we will be doing some stuff on the hands, you got to give the wrists just a little bit of attention to set the table as appropriately as possible for what I'm about to ask you to do. And then let's circle the other direction, just switch it up. Nice. And eventually you come back to center. As you come back to center, start to press into your knuckles and lift the base of your palm up and down, up and down. Let's say for 5. If you need more, draw your shoulders forward for 4. Try and keep straight arms for 3. If you need less, draw your shoulders back for 2. And 1. Good. Press your palms down to the floor. And then walk your hands forward. We're coming into a puppy pose, but we're going to find that first shoulder positioning that we just worked with. So think slightly neutral spine. Drop your chin towards your chest. Press strongly into your hands. And feel like your shoulders get a little bit closer towards your ears. right? So normally, sometimes normally, in a lot of my classes, we just do this as a back bend. For today, we're looking to just try and isolate that stretch in the shoulders, just trying to mobilize that area with the arms overhead without getting the spine too involved. That's always going to be involved, but we're trying to minimize that. Good, just give it a couple more breaths. Push into your hands. Heart's trying to get to the floor, but you're resisting. One more moment. Good, and then slowly walk your hands back to a tabletop. And then from your tabletop, curl your toes under, come into a plank pose. As you come into your plank pose, press strongly into your hands and push the floor away. Push the floor away so much, you start to feel like you spread your shoulder blades a little bit wider. You are protracting your scapula. So trying to make that space between the two shoulder blades just a little bit more spacious. Good, take another moment here. And then press back to downward facing dog, trying to keep that same sort of push, that same sort of positioning of the spine. So, right, not going into that maybe stretchy or back bendy version, but keeping the spine fairly neutral. If anything, I'd say try and find a slight curve to it as you draw your belly in. And feel as if your bottom ribs get just a little bit closer towards your pelvis. And as you continue to push down into your hands, let your shoulders get a little bit closer towards your ears. Good, we'll give it one more breath here. Then soften your knees, look in between your hands, tiptoe to the top of your mat, and then hang heavy in any sort of forward fold that makes your heart sing. Bend your knees, or little sway. And whatever sort of grip you have, release, and start to slowly roll your body up to stand. As you arrive at the top, take one big inhale, squeeze your shoulders to your ears. And exhale, roll your shoulders down your back and let them soften. Good, one more time. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders towards your ears, squeeze your fists, squeeze your face. And exhale, roll your shoulders down your back. Good, one last quick little thing before we move into salutations. Whenever we take the vinyasas, whenever we take these full flows, as you get to the top of your mat today, instead of reaching up and maybe going into a back bend, I'm going to ask you to find that handstand positioning. So as you reach up, keep the spine neutral, press to the base of your palms, and press towards the ceiling as if you were doing handstand on your feet. Got it? All right. Let's begin to flow. We'll start with a half salutation to set the pace. Inhale, stretch your arms up, reach up, press towards the ceiling, keep your belly in. Exhale, dive down, hang heavy, forward fold, send the weight towards your toes. Inhale, half lift, flat back, shoulder blades together, crown of head forward. Exhale, refold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward up, reach up, press through the palms, belly pulled in. Exhale, dive down, hang heavy, forward fold. Good, inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, full, plant your palms, step your feet back, pause in plank pose. In your plank pose, push the floor away, strongly keep your belly pulled in. And then press back, downward facing dog, keep pushing the floor away. And then inhale, rock forward to plank, keep pushing the floor away, belly drawn in. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog, keep those bottom ribs closed. One more time, inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, keep pushing the floor away, press back, downward facing dog. Good, one moment in down dog, hands press strong, hips lift high. Then as you reach your next inhale, soften your knees, look in between your hands. You can take a step or hop up, top of the mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward up, reach up, press your palms towards the ceiling, pull belly in. Exhale, dive down, hang heavy, forward fold. Good, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, full, plant your palms, step your feet back, pause in plank. Same drill, inhale, push the floor away in your plank, protract your scapula. Keep that push as you press back to down dog. Close bottom ribs, spine fairly neutral. Good. Inhale, rock forwards to plank. Keep pushing the floor away. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Good. One more time. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Push the floor away. Either press back to down dog or lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, full breath. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Push the mat away. Good. Right away in your down dog, hands, feet, push down. Feel like your bottom ribs get a little bit closer towards the top of your pelvis. And keep pulling your belly in. And your shoulders, they get a little bit closer towards your ears. You're trying to elevate your scapula really, really high. Good. As you reach your next inhale, soften your knees, look in between your hands, and take a step or hop up top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, up. Press your palms towards the ceiling, pull belly in. Exhale, dive down, hang heavy, forward fold. Lunging salutations, inhale, half lift first. Exhale, fold, step your right foot back, release right knee down to the mat lunge. Inhale, take your arms up, reach up, press your palms towards the ceiling, pull belly in. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back next to your right, pause and plank. Inhale, push the floor away in your plank. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. You know what to do. One breath in down dog. Then inhale, raise and reach your right leg up into the air. Keep your leg lifted and take little pulses for 3. Try and keep the same position of the shoulders even as you lift your leg for 2. And 1, step your right foot forward, lower left knee down to the mat lunge. Good. Inhale, take your arms up, reach up, press your palms towards the ceiling, belly drawn in. Exhale, 2 hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward next to your right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold towards your thighs. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, up, reach up, press your palms towards the ceiling, belly drawn in. Good. Exhale, dive down, hang heavy, forward fold. Adding on this time. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, step your left foot back, release left knee down to the mat lunge. For this lunge, walk your hands up to your right thigh. For a moment, kick your left foot into the floor, back your hips up, and as you back your hips up, feel for pressing your left thigh forward, and then draw everything down, keep kicking into the floor. And we're gonna add a little bit of a side body stretch. So reach up, grab a hold of your left wrist, and then with your right hand, gently pull on your left arm and lean your upper body to the right as you lift your left rib cage up towards the ceiling for 3. Push your hand into your wrist and your wrist back into your hand to keep everything active for 2. And 1, draw yourself back up, stretch tall. Exhale, lower your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back next to your left, pause and plank. Inhale, push the floor away, belly drawn in. Exhale, push the floor away, downward facing dog, belly still drawn in. Good. 1 moment in down dog. Then inhale, raise and reach your left leg up into the air. Keep your leg lifted, take little pulses for 3. Same positioning of the shoulders for 2. And 1, step your left foot forward, lower right knee down to the mat lunge. Good, walk your hands up to your left thigh. And then kick your right foot into the floor, keep kicking it. Back your hips up. As you back your hips up, feel as if you're pressing the front of your right hip forward. And keep kicking down, start to draw forward, 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 and down. Has nothing to do with the shoulders, but it's nice to get into the hips a little bit more, especially since it's such a short sequence. Sweep your arms up. Left hand, grab a hold of your right wrist, and then gently pull on your right arm. And then with your left hand, pull into your wrist. With your right wrist, pull into your hand for 3. Reach to the left, ribs towards the ceiling for 2. Breath steady, just loving what you're doing for 1. Inhale, draw yourself back up, stretch tall. Exhale, lower your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot forward, next to your left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold towards your thighs. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, up, press your palms towards the ceiling, pull your belly in. Exhale, dive down, hang heavy, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, hips down, arms up. Exhale, lower your hips, lower your hips, lower your hips, come all the way down to Navasana. Good, take one breath in Navasana, and then low boat or hollow body position. So press your low back to the ground, reach your toes away from your hips, and then take your arms overhead. And then like you were doing handstand on your back, press your palms away from you, keep low back to the ground, pull belly in. Should probably feel like something. Give it another moment, give it another breath. And then however you got to do it, get back up there to Navasana. Cross your ankles, plant your palms. Step or hop your feet back. You can take yourself through a vinyasa, through chaturanga. Or you can just head back to down dog. I'm cool with that too. Good. Take a moment in down dog. Moment over. Inhale, raise and reach your right leg up into the air. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose, round your spine. Inhale, raise and reach your right leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hip, open up, fold around. And keep that same pressure in the hands, even as you do something asymmetrical. Then when you reach your next inhale, raise and reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Come into high crescent lunge. Inhale, stretch your arms up, reach up, palms towards the ceiling, belly drawn in. Good. Exhale, two hands down, frame your foot. Inhale, sweep your right arm up into the air, twist. Exhale, right hand down to the mat, frame your foot. Straighten through your right leg to your degree. Inhale, lift your heart up high. Exhale, reach your heart forward and down. Inhale, rebend your right knee, lunge. Exhale, step right foot back next to your left, pause and plank. Once again, inhale, push the floor away, so strong. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Good, from down dog, inhale, raise and reach your left leg up. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose, round your spine. Inhale, raise and reach your left leg up and back, bend your knees, stack your hip, open up, move around. Nice. Inhale, raise and reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Come into high crescent lunge. Keep the torso neutral. Inhale, press through your palms, belly drawn in. Nice. Exhale, two hands down, frame your foot. Inhale, sweep your left arm up into the air, twist and reach. Exhale, left hand down to the mat, frame your foot, and straighten through your left leg just to your degree. Inhale, lift your heart up high. Exhale, reach your heart forward and down. Good. Inhale, rebend your left knee, lunge. Exhale, step left foot back, next to the right. Pause and plank. Inhale, push the floor away in your plank. Exhale, keep pushing away, just press back to down dog. Keep your belly drawn in. 2 breaths in down dog. Feel your ribs get closer towards your pelvis. Shoulders keep getting closer towards your ears. You're pushing with all your might. And then when you reach your next inhale, soften your knees, look between your hands. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, hips down, arms up. Exhale, lower your hips, lower your hips, lower your hips, all the way down, Navasana. Not out of Navasana land yet. Inhale, lift your heart up, lift your legs up. Exhale, low boat, hollow body position. Take the arms overhead. Good. Feel your low back press down into the floor. Reach your toes away from your hands and your hands away from your toes. You might even tuck your chin towards your chest. One more breath here. Good. Slowly draw back up, Navasana. Then however you got to do it, cross your ankles, plants your palms, step, hop, floats your feet back. You can take a vinyasa or just head back to down dog. Give you a moment to do what you got to do. Nice. And then when you're back in your down dog, inhale, raise and reach your right leg up into the air. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose around your spine. Inhale, raise and reach your right leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hip, open up. Inhale, raise and reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot forward, come into warrior two. So in your warrior two, right hand, make a fist. Take your right hand to your low back and your right elbow, draw it forward towards the front side of your body. Now this is the exact opposite of what we've been working with the shoulders, but it's nice to cultivate the opposite. If you do one thing a lot, do another thing a little bit at least. And then reach down, right elbow either to inner right thigh. If that's too much, right elbow to the top of your thigh or outside of your thigh, all of that works. And then left arm, handstand position, press to the base of your palm. And it's your choice where you send your gaze, down at your foot or towards your hand or chin towards chest. Whatever helps you stay in your work. One more breath here. Then slowly draw back, warrior two. Then take your right hand, pat your in between your shoulder blades. Left hand, grab a hold of your elbow. Elbow presses into hand, hand presses into elbow. And then start to reach like you were doing a reverse warrior. So reach your right elbow away from your waist and peel open the right side of your rib cage. Just take one more breath here. Then slowly back to warrior two. Squeeze right leg straight, reach right hand forward and down to your right shin for your triangle pose. So I said right shin, bring your hand wherever is going to provide you the support or the challenge you're looking for right now. Drive 2 feet down into the floor. Then feel for reaching right ribs a little bit more forward, a little bit more up. And take one more big breath, spread through 2 arms. And then slowly draw back, warrior two. Flip your palm, reach up and then back. 1 breath in reverse. And then exhale, release 2 hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back, pause in plank pose. Inhale, push the floor away in your plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Reach your arms out in front of you. For this one, chin to your chest, forehead to the mat. And then press your pelvis down, press your belly down. Inhale, lift just your arms up and legs up for 3. Try and lift your arms up a little bit higher for 2. Belly press down, pelvis press down for 1. All right, lower all the way down. Press back, downward facing dog. All right, last side, you got this. From down dog, inhale, raise and reach left leg up. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose around your spine. Inhale, raise and reach left leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hip, open up. Good. Inhale, raise and reach left leg up and back. Exhale, step left foot forward, pivot right heel down, warrior two. From your warrior two, left hand, make a fist. Bring the back of your left hand towards your low back. Press your hand into your back. Maybe even your back into your hand. That's tricky, but if you figured it out, do it. And then remember, left elbow draws forward. Tilt your body down for this extended side angle with a little bit of extreme internal rotation going on in that left arm, left shoulder. Right hand, reach it forward and up like you were taking handstand position with that right hand. Good, just one more breath. Press to your palm, keep both ribs lengthening forward. And then slowly draw it back, warrior two. Left hand, reach it up, pat your back. Right hand captures left elbow. And then begin to reach up and then back into your reverse warrior with this weird hand positioning, helping you get into that left side body a little bit more. Maybe make it a little bit easier to get your arms overhead. One more big breath, reach through your elbow, reach through your ribs. And then slowly back up, spread your arms wide, warrior two. Squeeze your left leg straight, reach your left hand forward and down for triangle pose. Left hand can come to shin, to ankle, to foot, to floor. Just as long as it's a clear choice. You notice what you're doing with your body, you notice what it feels like, and it's a place you want to explore. Let's give it one more breath here. Spread through both arms, and then slowly draw yourself back up, warrior two. Flip your palm, reach it up, and then back. One breath in reverse. And then exhale, release 2 hands down to the mat. And step your left foot back, pause and plank. Inhale, push the floor away in your plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Just like we did last time, reach your arms forward. Chin towards your chest, forehead to the mat. Forehead stays down, belly stays down, pelvis stays down. Inhale, lift your arms up. Press to your palms. Lift your legs up. Reach to your toes for 3. Lift your arms up higher for 2. 1, slowly lower down. And press back, downward facing dog. Good, take a moment in down dog. All right, and then from your down dog, walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Inhale, come up halfway, hands get your waist, exhale there. And then inhale, come up the rest of the way. So we're at that moment. Time to explore a little bit of some inversion play. So if you're a little bit cautious about going upside down, feel free to keep working on that down dog and lifting one leg up at a time while trying to maintain that hollow body positioning. You can also do that low boat, so that hollow body positioning on your back, reaching your arms overhead. Right, do what you feel like you're comfortable doing right now. If you'd like to start to go upside down, find your wall. And then all that we're gonna do first is you take downward facing dog at the wall. So usually a good place to be is about legs width distance apart from the wall. And then make sure your hands are on a level surface, hands about shoulder width distance apart. And right from the start, feel like you're really pushing into the floor. And then walk your feet up the wall. And as you walk your feet up the wall, push into your hands. That same push we've been working with throughout the entire practice. And then feel for closing your bottom ribs. Then you might lift one leg up at a time. Keep reaching through your toes, keep pushing the floor away. And then if you reach one leg up, switch it. Reach your toes up, push into your hands, belly pulled in, close bottom ribs. And then slowly find your way back down to the ground. Give yourself a moment, give yourself a rest. If your wrists are feeling it, you can make these little circles through the wrists. It's a nice way to do handstand, just to start to get a little bit more weight into your hands while still having the support of the wall. Another way I really like to do it, to really work on the endurance and again, maintaining all of that strength, you walk belly towards the wall. This one can be a little bit scary. Make sure that you have clearance coming out one way. So you walk in fairly close. You want to go to that place that just about terrifies you, and you might go a little bit closer. Hands are shoulder width. Push into the floor. Draw your shoulders towards your ears. Close bottom ribs. And stay as long as you can. And then when the body starts to shake, you either walk forward or, if you have clearance, you cartwheel out just like that. So if you wanted to pause the video right now and give that a shot, you can do a couple of sets. One other way that you can again begin to just try and get a little bit more weight in the hands is you can take some little hops up into handstand. So usually arms width away is a good place to start. You could get a little bit closer, take your hands down, shoulder width. And then we were doing those leg lifts and down dog. And those leg lifts are really important to help you get that momentum and height to eventually kick up. And when you kick up, you have the wall there to support you. Right, so you can focus on pushing into your hands. You don't have to worry so much about the balance. And then you can do trying to take your foot slowly away from the wall, and you just start to find a little bit more hang time. Right? I like to keep my knees together, so that helps me maintain a line. You could do it split leg, but I feel like that'll make the balance a little bit trickier. It's a lot easier to eventually just kind of like keep the knees together and keep most of the body in the position that you want to have. So again, if you want to pause it, give it a couple of hops. If you hop up with one leg, do the other leg. Do the leg that you don't want to do more than the leg that you do want to do, because you're always going to have that preference, and it's nice to just balance it out the best that you can. When you feel like you've had enough of that handstand, you can come down to lying on your back. And as you come down to lying on your back, just take your feet the width of your mat, your knees falling against one another. Allow everything to slow down, to decelerate. And then hug both knees in. Scoot your hips a little bit off to the right, and then send both legs over to the left for a little twist. Keep your right shoulder heavy towards the floor. And feel for outer right hip moving away from right shoulder. One more breath here. And slowly draw back to center. Scoot your hips off to the left first, and then drag your legs over to the right for your twist. And keep the left shoulder heavy towards the floor. Don't force it down, but just give it some sort of boundary. And then feel for outer left hip moving away from left shoulder. And one more breath here. And slowly draw it back to center. Hug both knees in. Squeeze your chin towards your chest, nose towards your navel. Take a big breath. Hold the breath at the top. And when it's time to exhale, exhale, let your arms, your legs go. Lie down on your back for Savasana. And as always, if you prefer to take seated meditation instead of Savasana, you're more than welcome to do so. But you got about 1 minute to just allow your body to find a space that doesn't feel like a whole lot of work. A space where you can allow things to settle back into place. And just put in a bunch of trust in the work that you did in the process of this practice. And if you want to stay a little bit longer, you can totally stay a little bit longer, as long as you need. Otherwise, you can start to find a little bit of movement and breathe a little bit bigger. And then taking your time, make your way up to a comfortable seat. And just taking a moment to find appreciation for yourself, for doing something good for you, for maybe exploring something new, or just exploring something old. What's you explored where you're at today? That's important. And find a little bit of gratitude for your breath and your body that allowed all of that stuff to happen. And with all that in mind, bring what you get from this practice out into your day, and hope you have a really fantastic day. I bow to you. And thank you so much for joining. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you like this video, you want to see more, definitely hit subscribe. I'd love to connect with you, so you can always reach out on social media through here or email. Otherwise, right, next video we'll explore a little bit more of taking the arms overhead and how that can apply for backward bends, specifically wheel pose. So if you're interested in trying to make those back bends feel a little bit more spacious or approachable, don't miss out. Until then, be well. Thank you so much.